And not to, unless you absolutely need it, if we could lose the headphones and the laptop, phones, all that fun stuff. And this is something that I learned by my own mistakes, like with my team, is that we have meetings, we got a no technology rule, which is kind of the opposite of a lot of, what the world is, right? But think of like, you might be listening to me and completely dialed in, but I don't think you're focused because you got the headphones in and all that stuff. So what I will say is that the impressions you're making, if you're trying to, again, make connections, especially in the business world, that first impression, your attention to that person, right? Because think like we're surrounded by technology, everything's moving fast, and I feel like we don't listen to other people. Like we don't actually connect with other people very well anymore. And it's not, again, nobody in this room made it that way, and everybody's got different things, but in the business world, whether it's accounting, real estate, whatever.
And we talk about that a lot.
Good.
About how you can be somewhere but not be present.
Yeah. Ask my wife. I suck at being present. There's sorry, I'm going to actually tell you about myself. So James Schleicher, so I now run a team. We're ranked in the top percentile in the world at what we do. We're in like the business, financial service industry. Very blessed to have, I go to work and have fun. I run around and have fun. Our clients are fantastic. It's been almost 17 years now. But it didn't start that way. I'm going to share a couple horror stories of getting into business and just kind of the things that unfortunately I hope you don't have any negative experiences as you move forward in life, and whether it's business or career. But my experience in life has been, you have your good days, you have your bad days, and somewhere in between. But so didn't start where I'm at now. But I grew up in Willoughby, so where South High used to be is on Shanklin. A street over is Eldo Street. So I grew up on Eldo Street over there. I was homeschooled till I was 7th grade. Some people say that explains a lot when I say that. It's supposed to be a cheesy joke, but went to Willoughby Middle, and I got 3 younger brothers, and I won the lottery of life having a mom and dad that really, we didn't have a lot, but like they made me feel like no matter what I messed up, that they still love me. So that's another thing too. Think of if you're starting a business or as you are growing together in this class, right? You have to have that ability to help people, like help remind yourself and others, like we're human, we are going to mess up. I'm going to try to say the right thing. It's going to come across wrong, and you know what I mean. So it's just like there's all these different elements of life, but you got to remember that we're all human. We all make mistakes, and if you're not making, my rule on the team, especially when you first start, if you're not making 15, 20 mistakes a day, we're doing something wrong, right? Because if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying new things. If you're not trying new things, you're not learning anything. If you're not learning anything, it's only a matter of time before we're out of business. Okay, so. Went to South High, and my only goal in life at that point was to run track. And I was a distance guy and got a scholarship to run track at Notre Dame College, which is, I guess now, no more in a couple months or whatever. But Dave went to Notre Dame, NDC for life. But I think I went to a college without a track because to me, how cool would it be to build a national qualifying team that doesn't even have what they need, right? So like, I always saw these impossible, crazy challenges, like that's what interests me, right? If it seems achievable, I was bored quickly. And this is another thing, how I had, we'll go over that survey that you took, so thank you for taking that. But this is just kind of a recent development with our team. One of the guys has been with me, pretty much the whole ride, 16, 17 years of this. And he's like, I think I finally understand you. So Gary, so he's basically my brother at work. Like me and him, we'll get into arguments like we're brothers. Like we'll just say one thing and it triggers something from 11 years ago that we fought about or something. You know what I mean? So we have, the rest of the team's like, all right, guys, chill. So just the, for me, like I love the challenge of running because no matter how fast you got, you technically could always get faster. However, what happened is this whole concept of I will outwork everybody else. I'll run more miles. I'll do more push-ups. I'll blah blah blah. Right? I basically ran myself into the ground. I was running 100 miles a week. I had one healthy season in college. I redshirted because I pulled my hamstring freshman year. If you are a pretty fast runner if you're a pretty good athlete and not trying to poo-poo on your dreams or anything like that, do not redshirt and rack up more student loan debt because, I'm going to come back my 5th year and then I'm going to qualify to nationals, bro. It was stupid. But being injured in college forced me to do other things, right? So it wasn't just all about track, right? So college, I ended up being president of student government for 2 years. And how that started was one of the girls on the track team were coming back from an invitational, and she's like, hey, you should check out student government. I'm like, what's student government? I think you'd be great at it. I think you'd like it. Okay, so I show up to the meeting, no intention of even running for a presidential role, but like over time, I got asked to, hey, I think you should throw your hat in to be president of student government, blah, blah, blah. So think of like you're showing up and you're being a good person and you're working hard and you're just doing the best you can. Like these opportunities will start to come to you, right? But you gotta when the opportunity arrives, you just kind of get your feet wet. Just kind of start to go down that path. As editor on the newspaper, it's pretty much, it kind of snowballed into this, all these other groups wanted me to be part of their group and blah, blah, blah. And my buddy Zach Fennell, the CP vigilante, so he's actually got cerebral palsy. It's extremely difficult for him to even just walk. But him and I, we did 2 marathons actually a couple years ago, so that's been fun. But what he always said to me was like, James, you got all these people that say they're going to write these articles for the newspaper because he's running the newspaper. And then I would always get a call 11 p.m., midnight, the day before the paper's supposed to be released, like, hey, James, can you write these 3 articles real quick? And so think of, I'm not trying to say, hey, don't be the fall person for everybody else, backing out. But if you can kind of have that reputation of you go above and beyond, that's going to be good, right, for your business and for your career and wherever life takes you. But also, too, you get to start proving to yourself, I can do a lot more. I can pull off a lot more than I thought I could, right? I can achieve a lot more than I thought I could. But graduated with honors, double major in English and communications, double minor in psychology and writing. Does any of that sound like business to you? So technically business encompasses everything. So communications major, internship got me into business, but no communications class ever had here's how a business works. If you're looking at, so think of what I ended up having was, the Who's Who award. I got this, it was just all these different awards, and I was like, my resume is gonna get me this fantastic job. So think of if you're the president of Notre Dame College, my vision, right, was if I graduate with honors and my resume looks amazing and I got all these things, this piece of paper is going to handle everything for me, right? So my vision was I'm gonna walk up to you, you're gonna hand me my degree, and then there's gonna be, so maybe I'm walking this way in my vision, you're gonna hand it to me, and the rest of you are these high-paying companies, and you're just like, James, I'm so glad you graduated. We've been waiting forever. Our company's been around 100 years. We've been waiting 100 years for you to graduate, right? So that's not necessarily a conscious thing I was saying, but that was kind of the lie And that false vision that I have myself is I'm going to just grab this degree and just the job will start coming to me. So, pop quiz. When I got that degree, how many of you companies were waiting for me at graduation? 0. None. And it was for me, it was very, I don't know, it was embarrassing, it was humiliating, it was frustrating, and just understand, too, that's part of life. So right now, you're a junior, so think back to when you're a freshman, right? You're starting all over, right? 8th grade, I don't know, is 8th grade like the highest level of middle school for most of you? So I just remember like middle school, 8th grade, yeah, what's up, right? And then you get 9th grade, like, oh, it's the bottom. Nobody again, right? And then, you become a junior, senior, like especially, senior, what's up, stupid freshman, get on my way, But like, we didn't actually talk like that. But, you get like, you're like, I'm at the top, right? And then, so what's going to happen in 2 years, whether you like it or not? Right back at the bottom. Whether you go to college, you start a business, but think of it as you're not at the bottom, right? You've reached the next chapter. Right? So it was very frustrating because when I got into business, no experience in it. And so 2008, second worst economic time period in history, right? So there's a Great Depression, there's a Great Recession. And the reason why they stopped calling it depression is because they said, we can't call it depression anymore. That's basically what happened in 2008. So do you think that my introduction into the business world and career world was a easygoing one, or do you think it was a very difficult one?
Maybe tell them what happened in 2008 that made the economy so bad.
So basically, again, talking about people want to get into real estate. So pretty much back before the 2008 crash, any of us could go get a loan, get a mortgage. So everybody heard of a mortgage? So a mortgage, so if you want to buy a house or a commercial building, you get a mortgage, But ultimately, they were letting you make up your income. You could just basically say, I make $1 bajillion, and I could get this mansion over here, I get that mansion over there, and they had all these different subprime mortgage, debacle, so good hands. That's always me dropping stuff too. But so just think of, is it wrong for people to have mortgages and mansion? There's nothing wrong with that, right? But think of, you basically, human nature is we want what we don't have, and the second we have it, it's over, right? I call it the Amazon effect. You order something on Amazon, you don't get excited once the box opens. You get excited when you hit the button and, oh, I can't wait, right? And then it shows up sometimes 5 minutes later and you're like, oh yeah, my Amazon box, right? What's in it? I already forgot, right? It's over. So, but in 2008, basically the whole real estate market, it almost brought down the entire economy as we know it, right? So you have, is it The Big Short? Yeah. So there's a movie called The Big Short, if you can check that out. I'll write that down. What I like about that, for me, is A, I lived it, and B, being the business nerd, I like the way that they go into all these different stories. Obviously, it's Hollywood, it's more fun. But they're basically talking about the subprime mortgages and what's the CDO. There's all these different things, but ultimately they do they're going. You're in the movie, and then they side shift to another celebrity, and they break it down into English language, right? They break it down into how you can understand it, and that's another thing in business. Call it first grader. Language of a first grader. For those of you get into real estate, you're going to take your licenses. You're going to be around real estate people all the time, talking about real estate terms, and then it just happens. It just happens, right? We're all human, and we just start talking how we talk, using lingo how we use lingo. And next thing you know, you're using all this real estate lingo that now you know, right? But no one else does. So a big reason why people don't build relationships and their businesses don't go anywhere is they're starting to talk like the industry instead of talking how regular human beings talk, right? If a first grader can't understand it, AKA me, if it's outside of my specialty, I'm like, I literally tell people that, talk to me like I'm a first grader. Otherwise, I'm not going to get it, all right? So, but yeah, so I don't know if my capture rate, 2000, it was awful. It was terrible. It was terrible. Like the world was ending, all right? And there I am. Hey, you want to do business while the world's melting today? I would, just, in the number one thing that I remember people saying is like, not in this economy. So imagine you meet somebody and they want your product, they want your service, right? They want what you have. And then you go through their budget and you show them, hey, you got plenty of money to do this product and service that you want and need, that, hey, I provide. But the fear, right? Think about, have you ever been, you know something's the right thing to do, but you're so afraid you can't move, right? That's where the world was. Everybody was too scared to move forward, right? And that's, again, you're getting into business cycles, right? And you're getting into economic cycles. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Where when you start to get scared and you stop spending money, then businesses start to make less money, and then the economy, it all slows down. So just think of don't panic, don't freak out is part of the game, right? Business is just a giant video game, all right? So have I rambled on about that enough? Sorry. Oh my gosh. So anyway, it's 2008, everything's gonna be amazing. Here I go. So when I started, I had $18 in checking. Remember, because usually if I broke the $20 mark to my name, I was like, okay, chill out, bro. But I had to have every funny T-shirt from the Goodwill, and just at that point in life, any penny I had to me was to spend on just whatever I wanted right then and there. Okay, but $18 in checking and $50,000 in student loans. So my goal for you, my hope for you, is that when you are starting your business, or when you're thinking about starting your business, or a career, just life in general, you want what you have to be more than what you owe, right? And everybody has different walks of life, everybody has different backgrounds, everybody has different situations. For me, it was just, I knew work hard, make money. I didn't understand the concept of save it, right? So, again, won the lottery. My grandma let me live in her basement for $50 a month, okay? So I'm living in her basement, $50 a month. I remember I had a 1998 Pontiac Grand Am and cracked windshield all the way across, and then the floor of it had rusted out. So think of like a day like today where even if it's like raining a little bit, the floor of the car, it would just like, it was like Lake Erie was like coming into my car. Like basically these giant puddles and and then on top of that, so in the beginning, a lot of times in business, and some businesses you're just always going to people's houses, right? But in the beginning it was like, you're calling anybody and everybody like, hey, can you please meet with me? And you're driving here, there, everywhere, and it always was the good meetings. I felt these are the meetings that I'm like, man, they might actually do business with me, that I go to my car, get in, turn the key, nothing. I go, come on, man, come on. Turn the key, nothing. All right, and this started happening on a very regular basis, so I basically have to go back, knock on the person's door, like, hey, I can help you with your future, you just got to get me out of your driveway right now. And it was, again, talk about embarrassing, talk about humiliating, talk about feeling like I can't believe this is happening to me. And understand that if you can't get trapped in that mindset, right? And I'll talk a little more about this, about gray and green. And but Yeah, so magically, do you think, whether I was a nice guy or not, whether I had what they needed or not, if I'm breaking down in your driveway, do you lose confidence in my ability to help you with your future? Right? Not good for my street cred, all right? Not good for my reputation. It's like, oh yeah, let me refer you to James. He'll break down in your driveway. It'll be awesome. So, but the worst thing that I remember, and this was something that would happen all the time. So again, we're going to people's houses. Not everybody has porches, but we used to call it getting porched. Or if you could convince them to come to the office, you would get officed, or wherever. If you were meeting at Panera, you got Panera'd. But basically what it is, you call someone, and what's your name, miss? Evelyn? So ring, ring. Hey, Evelyn, this is James. I was wondering if you could meet next week at like 3 o'clock, and I just want to go over, maybe your goals and just see if there's any way I can help you. Oh, well, awesome. Well, I'll see you then, right? And I'm all pumped up. So you set your meetings, right? But Evelyn's like, who the heck is this James guy? I was just trying to be like, what's up, buddy? Think about, do people a lot of times, just to be nice, agree to like, oh yeah, I'll meet with you, or yeah, sure, sign me up for this, sign me up for that, right? Because you get a lot of fake yeses, all right? So is she a bad person? No. Does she owe me anything? Does anybody owe you anything, whether you have the best business, best idea, best concept ever? Does anybody owe you anything? No, right? So basically, Evelyn, I'd drive to her house, knock on the door. My oversized suit that my grandma bought me that didn't really fit. And it is looking like an idiot. Like, okay, well, maybe I'll knock again. Okay, all right, keep it going. And I guess I got porch, right? So, but it was a joke around the office, right? Because it was just it was happening to all of us. So it was like, again, it was like group therapy, right? It was like, and that's another thing, when you get into business, it's a lot harder alone because you have all these negative things happening. Now you have positive things, I'm saying, but when things go wrong, it's a lot easier to have someone to go to. Like for me, I'm very blessed, right? When things don't go right, which is, every single day there's things that don't go right? That's life. That's just dealing with humans, and technology do not discriminate when it comes to error. Technology is going to mess up. Humans are going to mess up. Press repeat, okay? But the one that sticks out is I set a meeting, drove 3 hours away, and I overdrafted my checking. I remember, because I had to get gas to get to the meeting. I overdrafted my checking, so that was awesome. And then I get to the meeting, get up on the porch in my oversized suit that doesn't really fit, middle of summer, sweating like crazy, and now the difference was, this time, both cars are in the driveway. It's a nice day, so the window's up, right? So the window's open. And you know how you can see someone sitting in like a couch or a love seat or something, you can see the back of their head, all right? So I can see this guy's watching TV, I'm peeking through, all right, he must not have heard me. The TV must be so loud, I know he's dying to meet with me, right? Knock again, and then nothing, okay. And all right, please answer. And then through the window, I see the wife, whisper, she thinks she's whispering, I can't hear it, in the husband's ear. It says, "Don't answer, it's him." Like, him, that's me, I'm him. Yeah, I'm the him. And I drove 3 hours to be here. And, so the reason why I tell you this story is, do you think that I went around telling everybody that story when it happened? No, I was like, I'm going to pretend this never happened. I will never tell a soul, blah, 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 right? But why I'm trying to tell you about the bad things that happen is because, again, human nature, especially social media, right? I took 72 pictures of my kids on vacation. I posted 2. The 2 that they were actually looking at the camera, right? It looks like, they're like, man, look at those kids. Those kids actually look at the camera. My kids don't look at the camera, right? No, everybody's thinking, the world we live in right? That's what I'm saying. Stay close to each other. Stay connected to each other. Like, all that social media crap, dude, like 99%, it's not real, right? People aren't posting 99% of their life, which is the real part, right? Oh, this is the one sweet thing that happened, right? This is the one picture I look good in, right? And I'm not, do your thing, right? But just don't get caught up in other people's fake lives and crap. I mean, so, but just, if you're going into business, if you're going into life, bad things are going to happen, all right? So you do the best you can to adapt and adjust, right? And so I remember driving back, so it was 271, coming 271 north. You know where like the Progressive buildings are? How you can see them off the freeway there? Anybody familiar? So the job I was gonna take, instead of going into business, I was gonna be like customer service for Progressive. And I just remember like looking, and nothing, Progressive's an amazing company. You know what I mean? So not try, but I remember in that moment, like a crazy person in my car, banging on my steering wheel. It's like, why am I not sitting in a cubicle making a salary? Right? Like, what am I doing with my life, right? So there's going to be these what am I doing with my life moments. Now, here's what I want you to remember. If I had quit in that moment, right, then I would have talked about, oh, yeah, I could have, I should have, I would have, right? I knew that I could figure this out. I knew that I'm a good person, I'm a hard worker, I want to help people, and I feel that this is my opportunity to help. All right? So again, going from that to now, it's like we've basically had to build an entire team to help with all the referrals in the business coming in, right? I'm here talking today because I have the freedom and flexibility to do that now, right? But like, so I want to make sure I'm not painting a picture of like, hey, get into business, you'll be successful overnight, and there's no problems, right? And anybody that tells you that there's no issues in their lives, there's no issues in their business, they're about to go out of business pretty quick, all right? And also stay far away from them, because if they don't realize they have problems, then that's a problem, okay? Anything else?
Nope.
All right, cool.
You wonder, well, what do you do?
What do I
At
do?
that point, were you working for the same
Yeah, same.
company?
Yeah, so think of like at that point, same product, same service, same firm, same everything, right? But I didn't have the time under my belt to have, you know, basically the respect or reputation. And this is something, building relationships. Until you build that relationship, whether it's in the community, with your clients, with your network, right? You will be treated less than human. That's how I, like, when I think back about it, and I try to prepare people, whether they're coming to work with us or they're, you know, that it's not you, right? It's the thousands and thousands of salespeople and marketing people and business people that have come before you that have, you know, taken advantage of somebody. So if you see Team IBB, that's us. IBB stands for I've been burned. So personally, that's my family got screwed over in business. So that's a big part that drives me. Is I'm a big Batman nerd. So I'm like I'm trying to be the vigilante of business, right? I'm trying to right all the wrongs. So you can't avoid this, right? But if you can attach yourself to something larger than you, this vision, this dream, this goal, like the team makes fun of me because it's like, okay, what's James into this week? Because I'm always trying to read a couple business books, and then that's where, if you're cool that you have the results from the Visionary Integrator stuff.
They were supposed to keep it.
Okay. And you raise a hand if you, from the survey, if you came back as a visionary.
Only a handful, only a couple.
Okay. Visionary.
And
So there's two. So 1, 2.
is that it?
Anybody else get visionary? There's no wrong. You know, it's okay if you didn't. Did anybody get the high integrator, like 80 or more? So 1, 2, 3, 4. We good? 5.
A lot of them got right in the middle, like
Okay.
they could go one way or the other.
Right. Okay. So most people end up right in the middle. There's usually more integrators than visionaries. So this, if you want to write this down, it stems from the book. It's called Traction, is like the original book. And then this book is specifically Rocket Fuel. And this is something, again, we're real life implementing in our business. But for me, I am, on that survey, I'm a 99 visionary. I think I'm like a 30, I am not your integrator, I'm your visionary, right? Now, this is, every year, I would do a James audit for the team. So the team would say, James, you need to keep doing these things, you need to stop doing these things, and you need to start doing these other things. And the one thing in the past few years, kept being keeping the visionary, be the visionary for the team. That was before I read this book for me personally. So again, talk about, like, you have to attach yourself to something that's going to get you through the struggles of business. So I personally, I can't be the visionary. That sounds, I felt like if I accept the visionary title, then my ego has to go off the charts. I have to be some crazy person. But you don't have to be that. And this, what this book talks about, is you usually want one visionary per business. Usually the visionary is the person that has ideas every 5. Do you feel like you have just new ideas all the time? Like oh, we could do this. Oh, I could do that. Right? And then for you, so is your problem, it's not having enough ideas, it's having too many ideas, and then where did I put that idea that I had last month? Does that happen? I'm saying, you get excited to learn something new all the time, right? And then you're like, oh, we could do this, oh, we could do that. So when Gary on our team, again, he's been working with me almost 17 years, and he said, James, and this is 2 months ago, James, I think I finally understand you. You're the visionary, you get super excited for something, and you say, team, this is what we're doing. It's amazing, we're gonna do it. And then everybody uproots, and everybody just stops what they're doing, and I don't know what James is talking about now, don't know where we're going with this, and then, but they change everything for the next couple of weeks. And James reads another business book. And what do you think? Is James bored of 2 weeks ago? I'm bored. Guys, that was 2 weeks ago. Come on. I read this new business book, and we're going to add on top of that, right? So the integrator, and Gary's an integrator, Mike on our team's an integrator, and then Pat is an integrator. So I'm blessed. I got 3 integrators on my team. And this is, again, when you're building your business, so if your business does well, are you going to need employees? Are you going to need a team? Are you going to need to grow? Or are you just going to do it all yourself and have no life? That's not ideal, right? So the integrator is usually the person that says no to everything, and the visionary. So the visionary gets everybody in trouble all the time because they're saying yes to everything. The integrator is doing the right thing, but it's not. So it's like I think of when my kids, when they ask me for something and I say no, oh, mom usually says yes. There's certain things that they're going to go to me for, or not. There's certain things I say no to, so they ain't going to go to me. So with this, my challenge to you is that if you scored high on the visionary scale, find the people in this room that scored high on the integrator scale, because you need each other, all right? And it's basically, it's like a yin and yang thing. I can see where we're at now as a team. I've already been there for the last 5-6 years. I've already, you know what I mean? But we're only here because the team, like I said, most of them are integrators, and here, they're the ones that are helping me break it down, put it in little bite-sized pieces, take a step forward, right? So like we'd be out of business if it was just me. It was just up to me making every decision, all that. So again, relationships at work are extremely important, right? So think of like for you right now, this is kind of your job, right? Come to school. For me, I was not good in the classroom, all right? I did whatever I could to keep coaches, my parents happy, but besides that, it was a struggle. So has everybody heard the term culture? Like business culture. You gotta have a good business culture, right? I pretty much, again, what you hear a lot about it, and then you go into, most places when you're working, and they talk about how great their culture is. So if people are usually talking about how great they are or how great their culture is that usually a red flag that their culture is probably not that good and they're just trying to cover it up? They're just trying to like, if I keep saying it, it will magically happen, right? So the culture of your relationships at work with your team, right? Any athletes in here? Okay, so what sport? Track? Okay. What event?
Football.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm jealous because you were actually fast, and I'm also terrified. The hurdles, I just look at them and like I feel pain because I couldn't make it over. So, so think of it as, so especially if you're doing like the shuttle relays and invitationals and all that. Now, so you got to have the person you trust that holds your blocks, right? Yes. It's a big deal, right? So think of, have you been working on, whether you've consciously done it, right? You and the person that holds your blocks, you've built a relationship, right? You've built a culture. But more importantly, what is culture? What is a relationship? You built trust, right? Is trust easy to build? Is it easy to get someone to trust you? How easy is it easy to get someone to not trust you? You can lose trust pretty quick, right? Right? So you had a question, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say that trust depends on the person.
Yep. I will give you an example that my wife makes fun of me for, is like, people say like, is the glass half empty or that glass half full, right? And it's more of like, do you have a positive natural outlook or a negative outlook? What my wife talks about is for trust, right? When she meets a brand new person, is that glass of trust, is it overflowing, is it in the middle, or is it empty? So, in her words, it's empty, right? You have to prove to me why I should trust you. And you have to prove to me over and over and over again why I have to trust you. All right? But my wife is the most loyal, trustworthy person I've ever met. Right? I won the lot, like, talk about winning the lottery in life, too many times. It's me marrying Erica. She said, James, when you meet someone for the first time, where's James's glass at with trust? She's like, it is full and it's overflowing, and you got this like pitcher of water, and you just, and this person, they lie to you, they take advantage of you, but you're like, oh, but they got so much potential, right? Like, but this one thing they did just made me, like, they're just such a good person, like, and they keep pouring it out, I keep pouring it in. So this is be aware of your culture and like your team trust, right? Because I almost blew up our entire team. So imagine like spending all this time building to the top percentile in what we do, right? Literally top of the world. And because you ever fall into the friend zone? And this could mean a lot of different things. So the friend zone, what I'm referring to, is when someone on my team, coworker, right? It's more of we're buddies now. So my buddy started taking advantage of team member X, and then team member Y. So what happens is eventually, I'm like, wait a minute. She's upset, he's upset, he's upset, and it's all around this, my buddy, not my buddy, right? So you have to protect not only your client, right? People tell you the client's always first, right? But as you grow, your team becomes your number one client. I spend majority of my time thinking about how can I help my team, right? Because if I can keep the team happy, I can keep the team operating all cylinders. How are my clients and our team's clients, are they going to be happy? Right? So you ever call a 800 number, like customer service, and sometimes you get somebody, you're like, man, they were great. You call that same company back, and you get someone who's completely the opposite, right? Like they clearly whether they had a bad day, they don't want to be at work, something. So that you gotta as best you can, make sure your team is number one. How we doing on time?
Perfect.
Perfect? Okay.
We're here too.
Are you sure? Got till 10. Oh my gosh. All right. So
So let's kind of backtrack a little
Yes.
bit about, you're trying to build your team, you drive
Mhm.
like aggressive. Where did you get to that point where you started working for the moving company?
moving company. That was Gary worked. You
Gary
talking about?
worked there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
Because that's something about the moving storage
Yeah.
and then you started being a coach for South.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. So again, what's nice with business, and talk about accounting, finance, real estate, open a shop. First off, day one, you open up your business. How much money have you made? You just opened. Nothing, right? Nobody's been even there to buy anything, right? And with the best intentions, every charity, every cause, every volunteer group, they come, can you donate to this? It's a great cause. And you're like, yeah. And then, hey, can you sponsor our Little League baseball team? Like, yeah, sure, right? So there'll be great opportunities for you to integrate yourself in the community and do some cool things. But the one thing that, and I'll call on some of you now, I want to get more participation here, more back and forth. In my book, I talk about when it comes, my three keys to success are the 3 C's. And the first one is clients, right? Taking care of your clients, community, get involved in the community, and the third one's continuing education. So wherever, never stop learning. Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, oh no, I know the answer? Oh no, I know what to do. No, I'm prepared. This sucks. All right, no. Suppose cheesy dad joke, my bad. All right, David, cut that. Just cut this whole thing. Just cut me out of it. Just get their stuff. So I don't remember where the heck I was going with that. We were talking about 3 C's. Community. With the best intentions, you will be spread so thin trying to do all these good deeds, right, and get involved in the community. So what I learned the hard way is, magic wand, no restrictions. If you could pick one area of the community to solve, to fix every problem, or to, again, talking about for me, if it's impossible, now I'm interested. So I'm on a board. My one buddy, his brother-in-law overdosed, and it's the Tommy DeRoya Success Foundation. And the whole goal is to eliminate the stigma around mental illness and addiction and everything. And where my mind goes is, let's just eliminate addiction. Why not? Right? So for me personally, this is something where at this point in my life, this is very important to me, right? So we'll take volunteers first, then I'll just start calling you. But what's something in your community that if you could just wave a magic wand and fix it, what would it be? Go ahead. Homelessness. Okay. Do you have a eraser?
Yeah, here, use this thing.
Use this thing? All right.
Or, got this thing too.
Oh no. Ooh. This is cool. All right. All right. Thank you. All right, homelessness. Remember that? Okay. What else? Potholes. All right. Anybody in here from Kirtland? We got a. That's all these elections and back and forth and debates about is the potholes in our streets. So, all right. So we got homelessness, potholes. What else? Got more? Trash. So okay. So litter. Litter 2 T's. Okay. All right. As my kids say, litter critter.
People walking in the morning without any lights on, so come up next to the guy and you're just walking on the road in all black.
Okay. Pedestrian. I'm not even going to try to spell pedestrian. Got hunger. Pedestrian. What's it? Pedestrian. What's called pedestrian safety. All right. Cool. What else?
I guess this kind of ties into homelessness, but unemployment.
Yep. Pop quiz. Do all of you in this room, are you basically being trained and prepared to end unemployment in your community? Why? What are you doing?
Well, by creating businesses, we make jobs.
Magic. Right? Now, personally, when I was living not too far from here, I had, again, the lie in my head that I, again, just best intentions, loving family, but the whole money is the root of all evil, right? That made me think, well, businesses, money, it's all evil, it's bad, right? What's bad about ending this? Right? Businesses aren't bad. Making money is not bad. Do bad humans do bad things with money? Yeah, right? So the money, have you ever seen money just get up and punch someone in the face? It'd be pretty funny if it did, but right? So just money can't do anything unless you make it, all right? So, cool, unemployment, sorry, I got really excited there. What else?
What about anything with school that you think needs to be changed, or?
No more classes. Yeah, sorry. Next step, Miss Simon. So.
I mean, as a teacher, I could go on and on.
No, you're good. You're good. All right. Well, what's something that the Willoughby Eastlake schools are trying to work on?
Working on our culture.
Ooh.
Making sure that forever it was North versus South.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to bring the two together
Mm-hmm.
and listen to what the community wants us, or how, like a portrait of a graduate.
I like it.
So we're trying to.
You're trying to build relationships and
Yes.
trust? What? Okay. All right. So, and that's where, again, when I graduated from South, I had friends at North. Nobody at North ever harmed me, right? But I was like, they suck. We should fight them, right? Like, why? Yeah, because they're from North. Well, any other reasons? No. So, and then think of like Ohio State, Michigan, right? That's another thing. Are we born hateful, or are we taught to hate? I didn't come out of the womb hating Michigan, right? I was taught, we cheer for Ohio State, Michigan, bad, right? We from Willoughby, we cheer for South, not North. Okay, right? So again, keep that in mind too. That culture that you're building at your business is people will start to either, like you can create a lot of good with it, or you can create a lot of bad with it, right? So just be. My cousin always says when he was coaching track, because actually I coached track at South, cross country at North, and that was my goal. I'm going to build these community bridges. But guess what? When I was coaching at North, all the South people were like, what the heck, right? And then I'm coaching at South, and then all the North people are like, what the heck, right? So I'm glad you guys are doing that. And so is that Ward doing a lot with that? He's the man. Your superintendent's the man. He's a good dude. So community culture. So think of like where you live, where anybody lives. No one might even tell you, right? This is how life is. This is as good as it gets, right? This is the only way to live. Like this is how life works. We get caught up in our little bubbles, and that's why I was very blessed at Notre Dame College is one of the most diverse schools out there. I got to meet people from all around the world, all around Cleveland, all around the country, right? So I got to learn a lot about, okay, in my little bubble in Willoughby, things don't always work this way. Things don't always work that way. That makes sense? So, cool. So, question, where would we want to start? So homelessness. You starting a business, could you help end that? Yeah. Because if I have a job and I'm making money, can I now whether I buy a home or I can rent, right? People who rent are actually less stressed. You want to know why? Some breaks, someone else has to fix it. Some breaks, someone else has to pay for it. Okay? Check your contract. Double check your contract though. So, all right? You have that power. And then so something like for me, like we had our Go Lake County golf outing, and what I realized is like I want to change the world. But if I wanted this, if I could really do something special and make an impact, I was like, okay, Lake County, right? For me, Lake County, it was just go Lake County, and let's do as much as we can. So my goal became, I'm going to change Lake County for the better. I'm going to have positive. That's a big, why am I here, right? I'm hoping that one word or one sentence is going to help you 5 years down the road. You're going to be in a situation, right? You'll be getting porched. You'll be being treated less than human. And instead of quitting, you're going to be like, ha, that's what that crazy guy talked about. That's what the guy was talking about, right? So the homelessness, could you end that, start in your community, right? And what school you go to? Solon. Okay. So could you just pick, whether it's in Solon, right, or anywhere, could you just say, this street right here? You go to the mayor, right? You go to city council. Where's a place where homelessness is an issue? I say, oh, well, it's, this area, that's where we're having our homeless issues, right? Do most people, they want to go to the mayor and city council and they want to complain, right? Well, you're not doing enough. But you are going to be like this shining star, this hero that they've been waiting for. Like, mate, she wants to help and not complain? Okay, right? So you could just start with, hey, this one family, how can I help? And why am I here? Because of her, right? She says, James, can you do this? And I say yes, because I trust her. I know that everything she's doing, she's not just trying to teach you business, she's trying to teach you life. She's trying to teach you how to be a good person. She puts her heart and soul into everything, okay? So think about, you might not be able to end homelessness. None of us can end anything by ourselves. But now you know the mayor. Now you know city council. So you go talk to the family. Hey, they need X. Do you know a realtor? Do you know a mortgage person? Do you know, anybody that owns like an apartment complex, right? Like, oh yeah, that's Susie Q and Freddie Jones. So now you go meet with them. Hey, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to end homelessness, and I want to start with this family. And their issues is this. I know you do this. Is there anything out there that I'm missing that I could support with? Help me connect the dots, right? So if you ended homelessness for one family, would you feel good about it? Would that be a win? All right. Do you remember I'm talking about I'm talking about we got Facebook at Notre Dame when Facebook was still just schools, right? So I am old. I'm not cool. I'm out of touch. I don't have TikTok. Don't have anything fun anymore. But I'm talking about the pressure that you have, end homelessness. Well, so and so posted that they did right, and whether they actually did it or not, you lose sight of if I can't end homelessness, it's too big, it's too tough, it's too much. Who cares? Life is too much. Life is too hard, right? Everything is a struggle. But if you can start with one family, and guess what? Do you think feeling good about something is going to make you want to do it again? Right? Why do we do things over and over? Why do we have the habits we have? You feel good. What makes you feel good? Dopamine. All right? We are just walking, talking, servants of our dopamine hits, right? So I'm getting a dopamine rush right now because I'm excited to talk to you. Some of you are getting the opposite of that because this guy will not shut up. But you get that dopamine hit and you're like, this feels good. I want more, right? So again, talking about that foundation, everybody's addicted to something, right? So your habits, the dopamine, your habits drive everything, okay? There's another book called, everybody heard of Atomic Habits? But basically just gets into literally, if you want to end homelessness, you start with one little, he calls it habit stacking. So what could you do in your regular routine that could just get you a little bit closer to that? And maybe it's just, I'm going to find out the phone number for the mayor, right? And that's all you do that day. And the next day, I'm going to find out the number for, you make these little teeny tiny things that end up creating this habit because a month or two later, now you're in regular communication with them, right? And then, so a year later, you're getting that first family in that home. Now, a year seems like a long time sometimes. My world is, a year is not long enough for me. But does it make sense where it just, you have these teeny tiny habits, and that's, why do businesses die, right? A business is like a living, breathing thing. Everybody remember BlackBerry, the BlackBerry phone? Anybody? They owned the world. And there's some movie that came out recently. I watched it. It's the whole BlackBerry story. They got so stuck on how great their idea was, and then most of you have an iPhone right now? Most, if you don't, it's all good. All right, took me till 2 years ago to finally switch, but Steve Jobs came out, and Apple's thing, and so Simon Sinek is another good business career coach to check out. They have him come and talk to the Apple people, talk to the Microsoft people, and all that, and so he talks to Apple people. He's like, "Hey, Microsoft just came out with this new product, and it seems really good. I think it might be better than Apple's." And the Apple person that he was talking to said, "I have no doubt." And that's it. So think of Apple, it wasn't about being the, necessarily oh, this is the greatest thing here. It's more about, this is what people are asking for, and we're going to give it to them. Or, this is what people should be asking for, and we're going to give it to them. So are you responsible for being a step ahead of what the market and the consumer want? You're creating what they want, right?
So we've talked a lot about how businesses are in the community. If they don't give back, then they're kind of frowned upon. So each of our businesses should have some form of giving some. doing
Yep.
some philanthropic
Yep.
event that is positive.
Yep. And then, so day one in your business, you don't have, if you don't have any money, but what do you have? What's the most valuable asset we have? Right? Time is not the thing, it's the only thing, right? You need to manage your time, talking about routines, habits. Your time is the game, right? And also, too, if you have a team and you have clients, like, think about with Amazon, right? When you start your business, I can order it from your business and get it in 7 days. Or I can order it from Amazon and get it in 4 hours. The time factor is going to be very tough, but could you add something a little more personal touch than Amazon? Amazon's very transactional, right? So you can say, hey, it's going to take 7 days. My son ordered some Legos, but he's been watching this YouTube Lego thing, and like the guy, he buys the Lego, and then the next 2 seconds it's in his mailbox. The next 2 seconds he's opening it. So we order Legos. 5 minutes later, he's like, Dad, are my Legos here? I'm like, no, man, what's going on? And I didn't put it together yet. And then he goes to ask my wife 5 minutes later, hey, Mom, are my Legos here? It's like, no, why? It's like, oh, because you think Legos come in 2 seconds, right? So, but is this not, think about my 7-year-old and 5-year-old. Are they going to be your clients, right? You're going to be you're going to be selling to your peers, right? But like, if you're trying to make a business that lasts, you got to be selling to the generation below. Does that make sense? And then the next generation, the next generation. So could you say, all right, 7 days. Well, I think about the 7 days when you are saying, hey, buy this product and we will donate 5% of the proceeds to end homelessness. Right? Okay. Do I feel better buying from you, or do I feel better buying from Amazon? Right? Now, obviously, if I need that thing in 4 hours, then that's tough, right? But you can't. So you have to decide, am I going for a transactional client, or am I going for more of a relationship transformational client, right?
So this week, actually, Faith, tell them where you're gonna do your job shadow.
I'm going to a nonprofit organization called 216 Girls.
Okay.
It's in Cleveland. It's like basically just kind of a closet. It's like a closet type program where girls like from all around Cleveland down there can go to shop and look for outfits and dresses to like build their self-esteem if they don't like have the option to get
Yeah.
those clothes and buy those clothes themselves.
That's awesome. That's cool. Now, my challenge to you, all right? So this is a good thing. So if you didn't hear, so make sure if I'm not repeating this correctly, she's volunteering people that don't have the types of clothes that they need, and they can. It's basically, hey, come try on these outfits. Now they get to keep the outfits, or they rent them, or like not rent them, but like they keep them, keep the outfits and all that. So. Have you ever gotten an outfit where you're like, this is the last outfit I'll ever need? These shoes are the last pair of shoes I'll ever need. I love these shoes; they're so good, and I have a shoe problem. I'm 12 shoes past the shoes that were supposed to be the last pair I bought, right? So I'm just trying to be clear. I'm not trying to like poo-poo on what you're doing. So like that would be my challenge to you, right? Thinking bigger, how can I end this? Is it the outfit that makes the difference? Is it the outfit that makes the person? Right? That self-esteem, that confidence, right? So that's what like my challenge to you is when you're helping them get excited and just like look them in the eye and be like, you are way more than an outfit. You will always be more than an outfit. You don't need this, right? And so this is something to where, again, I wish I learned this way sooner. But it's like you think everybody's thinking about you, right? But everybody's just thinking about themselves and what other people might be thinking about them, right? So usually, as you get older, you start to realize, okay, no one was really worried about what shirt I had on, right? And if they were, is that the kind of relationship I want to have? I want to be with somebody, if I don't have the right shirt, then I'm not their friend anymore, right? They're going to treat me poorly because I don't have the whatever style they're looking for, right? So that's awesome. That's awesome, awesome. Are you cool? Gonna pump them up. Be like, you are unstoppable. That's gonna be awesome. So, cool. Permission just to kind of go around the room. And I want to know more about your business and why. So, who hasn't shared yet?
You can start with Deanna. She can
Deanna?
tell you what
All right,
she's-
go ahead. It's Deanna. How do you spell Deanna?
DIO,
D-I-O-N-N-A.
NNA.
Okay.
Okay, so I started crocheting as a hobby, but
Awesome.
I recently started like selling the things that I make.
Okay. I can't spell crochet, so I'm gonna spell Croatia probably. So go ahead.
Okay, it's CROCHET.
Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Thank you. What about you, sir?
I don't have a business.
You don't have a business? Well, if you did, what would it be?
Maybe something with cars.
Cars? Okay, what's your name, buddy? I'm sorry.
Chase.
Chase? All right. Something with cars. Now, if she crocheted these limited edition, highly sought after collectible crochet cars, could you sell them?
Yes.
There you go. All right.
Make
So-
headrests.
All right. What's that?
I said make headrests.
There you go. There you go. Cool. So something with cars, right? So again, talk about like one, if you have a passion and something you love to do, if it's not work, right? That's what they tell you, right? Oh, dude, you got to find your passion and well, it's not work. Like I have a passion for what I do. I love what I do. I'm obsessed with what I do. It's still hard work, right? It's still work, all right? But another thing, so talking about Simon Sinek, so there's a book, Start With Why, and then there's The Infinite Game. That is another good read. But what he talks about is anybody can be passionate about anything. Do you believe that? What people get passionate about are the things that they get good at. Right? So, you're getting good at this crochet thing. You're getting good at this selling crochet stuff. Like, I'm sure before you walked in here, the last thing on your mind was like, man, I hope someone would crochet something so I could sell it. Right? But now it's like, okay, Chase gets out there. He's building relationships, right? And you come back to, and it's Deanna, is that correct? Okay, come back to Deanna. I sold the 10 things we had. They want more, right? You're like, okay, got it. So, and then now you're looking like, well, somebody else has to start crocheting with me, right? And then you're like, we're out of stock. We're sold out, right? And then you talk to your buddies, and you're just like, guys. All right, so everybody's about these crocheted cars, and we need to build a team. Like, come with me. And then two, the trust relationships, right? So, sorry, I'm getting all excited. All right, and you, sir, what's your name? James? Good name. All right, cool. And you have a business, sir?
I don't.
Okay. Could you sell stuff? All right, so so for him, it's cars. Like, if it's like one thing that you're passionate about, like what could that be?
I was almost started a clothing business.
Clothing? Okay. Can you crochet clothing?
Yeah. You should see what she does.
All right. So, clothing, cars, crochet. It all have to be C's, by the way. All right, this is our challenge. Your business has to start with a C. And you, sir, what's your name?
Joey,
Joey?
I'm not a business.
What's that?
I'm not a
You have a business? Can you sell stuff?
Yeah.
All right, cool. what's something that you're passionate about? Or hobby? Sports? Okay, what's like if you could only pick one sport, what would it be? Lacrosse? Okay. LAX, right? Okay, yeah, see? I got a friend that played lacrosse, so. Not cool, but it made me feel cool for a second, sorry. And Joey just gave me that, this guy. So, can you, oh, dude. The sticks with the nets, you could crochet the net, right? And then your sales team could do, maybe recruit some researchers, or maybe you guys are out trying some stuff. So actually, when you crochet this, you get better ball speed, you get better handling, you get better this, you get better that, right? And dude, now you are hanging out with all the greatest minds and players in lacrosse, and would that sound like fun to you? And by the way, they're paying you lots of money for this super awesome crocheted, is it lacrosse stick, right? Am I saying that? Okay, sorry. So like you just changed the sport because you had an idea, you had a vision, and you guys are like, well, I don't have a business, right? But you guys are awesome, right? So let's talk to the person with the business and see if we can do something cool. So, sorry. Go ahead, sir. Doug? Not in business. Can you sell stuff? Yes. All right. Question, is everything sales? Am I trying to sell you today to keep going with business, make it fun, work hard, and do the best you can, right? So everything is sales. You're trying to sell them. Hey, if you sell my product, good things will happen, right? So I try to sell my children every night that, hey, bedtime is not bad, it's good. It's yet to work. All right, I'm working on my sales skills. So, all right, sorry, Doug. One thing that you're passionate about or hobby that like sailing? Okay. Could you make a sail out of crochet? This is getting fun. All right. About you, sir?
I'm LeBron.
Ron, how do you spell that, sir?
LaRon.
All right.
And I also don't have a business, but I've just always been a reseller.
Okay.
I just try to get my hands in everything. Like I be reselling like headphones,
Okay.
shoes,
Okay.
apparel. So I was thinking about making the clothing brand too.
Okay.
But
So-
say headphones, you could make little things to put on the headphones that are different styles, you know?
All right. So, in question, and it's LaRon, is that correct? Did we just find our sales training manager, the person who's going to train the sales team? 'Cause he sells stuff, right? And doesn't. Now, obviously, this is the goal, right? You're not trying not to sell a bad product, right? But like just there's certain people, right, where just sales is just what you do. It's your thing, right? So you can take those lessons learned, right? And then she can pay you with all her crochet money, not all, right? But like you're like, okay, hey, I'll pay you a salary, plus you'll get bonused on how well the sales team does, and you're going to develop the training for the team, for the business, right? And so I guess for you, think of like, you don't necessarily have to stop this, right? So if I can sell anything, well, hey, I now need to sell the team. I need to sell Doug, Joey, James, and Chase on this next big product that we're crocheting, okay? Trying to think, is there one thing when you're selling stuff, or at least some like a motto you have, or just something like that keeps you going? Because not everybody buys stuff, right? Like you get a lot of no's, or you got to get comfortable with people telling you no. But is there something that like keeps you going and keeps you selling, that helps you stay positive? Profit?
One sale, you're gonna be right
Yeah.
back where you want it to be. So you just keep going after that.
Okay. So keep going. So keep going, get profits, something like that. Right? So now he is in charge of the whole sales department. All right? So he develops his curriculum for the business. Owners, you say, I like it. See, let's do this, right? And you roll it out to the team. But before you roll it to the team, you go around the entire office or whatever building, if you're working out of a warehouse, and you just got all these signs everywhere. Keep going, get profits. Keep going, get profits. Keep going. Like, remember like when you were like elementary school, and you probably like you had signs everywhere. Be kind, be positive, right? Be happy, right? So you're starting. Is this starting to build the culture? Right? So think of like with our team, personally, everybody's got their core value. So for me, it's everybody love everybody. You don't have to like each other in the moment, but we will love each other. We will take care of each other, right? And Kimmy and Kelly, who are our rock star admins up front, Kelly is positive impact and Kimmy is mutual respect. So think of like, I have these things all around the office to remind everybody, if you are going to work as a team, you are going to honor these core values, right? So think like this is our, this is like our battle cry. When you guys, you're back at the office, or you're calling these guys. You're like, hey, how'd it go? Casey's like, I got porched, right? And then James got officed, right? And then Joey's like, everybody canceled. And then Doug is like, everybody no-showed. Everybody Starbucksed me. Everybody Panera'd me, right? So, what do you tell them? Keep going. And are you going to respect and trust him more because he's been there, done that? Who's gotten no-showed more? Who's gotten office more? Who's gotten Porsche more? Like, not trying to, but like think about, he has been in the trenches. He's been where you are, right? So that's another thing too. Don't take it as a bad thing when you are talking about starting all over, starting from the bottom, and you're basically you're doing the cleaning toilets job. You know what I mean? Like, don't never be above anything, because when you work hard and you're a good person, guess what? Business is going to grow. You're going to have to create this whole new position, and then you're going to need to hire 2 more, 3 more of him, and then, maybe you need, we need 4 positions, right? We got the West Coast, we got the East Coast, we got the Midwest, we got it, right? And now we're going international. We need 4 department heads. Okay, well, who do we have a relationship? Who do we trust? Who's proven that they can sell our product? These 4 right here. Okay, you're head international, West Coast, East Coast, and we'll call, you're in charge of Canada. Canada gets a special spot. So I don't know why I draw blanks in the most random moments, but it wasn't coming. So, but now, okay, you 4 got to hire what? People to replace you. So let's go over this table here real quick. So, and I'm sorry, your name again, I'm sorry. Evelyn. Evelyn, I remember you. You set a meeting with me, Evelyn. All right, how do you spell that? N-N? All right, cool. All right, do you have a business? Nope. Can you sell stuff? Hot dang, let's go. All right, and just personally, what's something that you're passionate about, or you have a hobby around that, What's that?
My horse.
Horse? Okay, perfect. Can we crochet a horse? Can we crochet? So I've never ridden a horse, but the saddle doesn't look too comfy. Could we maybe be like a crochet thing that goes over the saddle to help the ride be a little more comfy? Have a luxurious horse ride with crochet. Huh? All right. Cool. Also, for you, business owner, leader of the team, and you, sir, leader of the sales team. Cars, clothing, cross, sailing, horse. Why is this important? Why is it important to know what's important to them?
Then you can create products that people will be interested in.
But also, too, if Evelyn's having a bad day, all right, she set an appointment with me and I porched her, right? And she comes back. Most places where people work, you come back and you get yelled at or you come back and you get like, well, you should have, Evelyn, what'd you do? Well, I did this, 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 this. Well, you know, did you try da-da-da-da? Did you try this? Did you try that? Did you try? Is that helping her at all? Did you try this? I would have tried it, had the ability to, or had the opportunity to, you know, right? So she's not feeling good, and now I'm making her feel worse. What is the likelihood that she is now looking for a different company to work for? Well, I saw the crochet business down the road, and they looked like they were having a lot more fun, right? So if she is having a bad day, you two could talk and be like, hey, she really loves horses, and this is just silly random things I do. I'll like try to, in the moment, like make like a funny horse picture, print it out, and like, you know, you rock, or even like, you're unstoppable, don't worry about it, like, you know, or I don't know, quit horsing around, or I don't know. I mean, like, you have that. A horse is not going to fix that you still feel bad about what happened, right? Like, it's more than just like, here's a horse, now go sell something. But do you feel that they see you, Evelyn, do you feel that they see you as the person, not as the employee? You're not just somebody who works here. You're not just somebody, you're not a number. I can't say swear words, but we care about you, right? And we got your back. Everybody's got your back when things are good, right? You ever had things go wrong and the people you thought would have your back, magically they're... So my wife told me about like, yeah, when you needed so-and-so, where was he? Well, you know, he was just, he wasn't feeling good that day, right? Okay, sure. So, okay, cool. So now we need another salesperson or business owner to maybe connect with. What's your name? Adriana. How do we spell that? Adrian? A-N-N-A. I cannot spell to save my life, so I apologize. So, Adriana, do you have business? No. All right, so what are we going to ask her? So she has no business. What are we going to ask her?
Can you sell?
Can you sell stuff? Sell me this pen. All right. Okay, so welcome to the team. You're now in sales. But what is something that you're passionate about or have a hobby for? What's like something that you love? Do you like pink? Do you love pink? Okay, my daughter loves pink, and now I love pink. So anytime I see pink, I get excited. So, pink's your favorite color? Okay. Does this, again, most businesses, do they care what your favorite color is? They're like, this is the real world. This is the business. I don't care about your favorite color. I don't care about your feelings, right? You watch movies, all this cutthroat nonsense, right? But guess what? She's having a rough day. Chase, you're in charge, right? And you're in charge of Canada. She flew all the way to Canada. She got flighted. She got flued, whatever you want to call it, right? Canada. So she's flying all the way back, right? Think about, like, I had to drive 3 hours back. That's tough. But imagine flying hours and hours, right? I mean, you have all this time to just think about what went wrong, right? And Chase is obviously it's not going to fix things completely. But you get back, and Chase has a big, giant pink flamingo balloon saying you'll get him next time, right? Or to keep in line with the company battle cry is like, you got this big, giant pink flamingo balloon, keep going, right? So maybe this is something we add, right? Keep going. Get profits, you got this. Just the cheesy, silly stuff you hear all the time to keep you positive. I thought coaches and parents and teachers, I'm like, will someone give me a real answer about life? But they're like, well, you just got to work hard and be a good person and never quit. I'm like, what? Like, how's that supposed to help me get a job? Like, how's that supposed? Like, it didn't. So, but like, think of like, there's so many different things in life, but like, this can be something where everybody going to have that moment they need to keep going, right? We're a business, right? We're going to do a lot of great things in the world. And, unemployment. We are going to end unemployment. Maybe that's another thing. Don't let me add anything else. keep going, get profits, you got this, end unemployment. Because 2, is your business and your team, it's not crocheting, it's not even crochet anymore, it's not selling anymore, right? We're here to end unemployment. I don't know what, Chase goes, hey, James, like, why are we here again? Why do we come to work every day? James like, dude, we're ending unemployment, man. All right? Think about, you had no employee, so no jobs, no businesses, but guess what? Are you ending unemployment one person at a time? Right? So, all right, and you, sir, what's your name? Braden. All right, how do you spell that? All right, Braden. Do you have a business, sir? No? All right. What do we say?
What are you passionate about?
Can you sell? Is the answer yes? Yes. Anybody, have you ever got someone to do what you wanted them to do? All right, so you sold someone, right? All right, cool. So you can sell. Congratulations. All right, what's something you're passionate about? Hobby. What's that? Working out. Okay. So fitness. All right, dude. Crocheted fitness, clothing, something. I don't know where we could go with this, but also too, as a parent, my back room, I got like all like the weights and everything. When the kids are running around playing back there, I am terrified that they're going to run and smack their faces into the weights. Could you maybe have something that you crochet for protective purposes around weights? Like, James, stop having a heart attack, stop having a little mini stroke every time the kids are running around. We got you. Here's your product. You think I would gladly buy that, right? Because that solves the problem for me. Because I'm stressed out all the time about my kids running around the weight room. So fitness. And then you go to work. So Ohio Sports and Fitness, that's my buddy owns that. So he started this gym with just a bunch of random weights, right? And then as he got clients, right, as he got members, he started taking some of that profits, and then he would get another machine, right? And then he would get, so like most gyms go out of business very quickly. Even like the big gyms are all having huge issues, right? Because equipment costs money, but also too, they're like me, all right, let's not be patient and save the money. I'm just going to take on debt, right? So think of like if you could be hanging out at Ohio Sports and Fitness, talking, and again, talk about relationships, connections. Like, hey, who do we know that knows someone that owns a gym? Right? You just hit me up. I'll make the introduction. And then, but what's cool now, hey, Frank, I got the product you ordered. Is it okay if I, hang out and work out for a little while? Sure, man. And clients, too, they love to reciprocate. So if you're taking good care of them, it's a good product, you got a great sales team, right? And you're there, you are the person, like you're their point person, right? And you speak their language. Right? You can talk like a first grader to anybody, right, and sell anything. But now, you and Frank can start talking about all kinds of fitness stuff that the rest, maybe we get the general gist. But you're like, hey man, I'm struggling. I know you need 2 grams of protein for ideal body weight when you're lifting and all that. I mean, like, how you doing on that? Like, what meals are you prepping? Like, okay, you use use this. What kind of protein you're using? Blah blah blah. So now, like, does that sound like work? If you're just talking about what you love, right? And it'd be cool to get paid to go work out, right? So, and then maybe our business needs a little weight room. We can get jacked and tan, maybe. Do a lot of push-ups, push-up contests. So, but just think of like, when you're trying to sell a specific product, is it a lot easier to have an expert in that little, so in fitness, Chase could totally rock fitness sales, right? But you'd much rather be in charge of sales with people in cars and automobiles, right? Sure, maybe. that's the one thing you picked, all right? Like I know I put you guys all on the spot here. Does that make sense? And then you're talking to your fitness client, and they're like, yeah, we do speed and strength coaching with lacrosse players. That's our specialty. Like, I gotta get you connected with Joey, and then Joey, you go talk to them, right? Are dots kind of getting connected a little bit? So, and you sir in the back, what's your name? Theo. Theo. My son's best friend is Theo. All right, Theo. All right, Theo, do you have a business, sir? No? All right. What do we say? Yeah, all right, perfect. Something you're passionate about, a hobby, football? Okay. Are there a lot of parents maybe out there that want to be throwing the football around or get their little babies introduced to footballs, but the actual football is just, it's too hard. They can't catch it. Also, babies are always like gnawing on things, drooling on things. Could you make a crocheted football for infants and toddlers? Do you sell footballs? All right. And then the next thing you know, all the NFL players, they want them for their kids, right? Could you make them limited edition? Each team, they might have like each player customized, that, you know what I mean? And now you're just playing football, hang out with people in football, and that's your job, right? And then if you're with the Cleveland Browns, and then they have their speed and strength coach, and they're like, man, these things are so cool. I wish we had some more stuff. What else do you have? And he's like, and you'd be like, oh, well, you are in this fitness realm, so let me get you connected with Braden, correct? Did I get, yeah, Braden. So Theo connects Braden. You see how like you start to get these connections, these referrals to the expert, right? And that way you get to stay in the world you love at work. I think we're ending more unemployment. What about you? Are you guys you're all getting paid, right? And now you are buying homes, fixing potholes, right? Ending hunger. You're doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm gonna put you on the spot, man that fell asleep back there. What's your name, buddy? Vince? All right. See, that was so. In class, I just remember just being like the head nod thing. You're just like, come on, stay awake. So good.
Falling asleep is staying awake.
Touche. All right. So Vince, do you have a business, sir? Yeah? What is that business? No? All right. What do we say? All right. Can you sell stuff? Yeah. All right, cool. What's something one thing that you're like top passion or hobby? Chase, I think you found your top salesperson here. So, all right. And then here's what's cool. So Chase and Vince, they have a natural thing that they love to talk about, right? Now, obviously, like different bosses, different managers, different leaders have their opinions on stuff. My opinion on work stuff is I don't care if you get the job done from home, if you get the job done while you're on vacation with your family. I don't care. Like, if you're getting the job done, client's happy, your team's happy, we're making profits. To me, that's whatever. But then you have other business owners that they're like, you have to be in the office, and if you're at the office, I don't want you to no talking about cars. If you cut them off from talking about what they love to talk about, is that a balancing act, right? Because you know they love to talk about it. You want them to be happy. The happier they are, the more they're going to produce, and the more they're going to keep referring the rest of the community to you, right? But also, too, sometimes you're going to be like, hey, guys, can we maybe get to selling, right? So, but what's cool, so Chase and Vince, in your conversations, are you going to start to think of ideas for new products? Like, I wish I wish cars had X, right? And you go to her and say, hey, what do you think about this? Can you crochet this? Meanwhile, like you have like 1,000 crocheters now, by the way, because they are selling all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, so like think of always Pat on our team. His core value is commit to innovation, right? If you are not getting better, if you're not advancing, the way I always saw it, if I am not getting better, then I am one step closer to going out of business. Because is my competition, are they slowing down so I can take a breather? Does the competition care about this family we've created? So this is your family. These are your people, right? So is it important to always continue to advance and innovate so that, it's not just you anymore. It's all these people, and oh, by the way, they have houses, they have families, right? So how do we keep it going, right? So just got to keep those new ideas coming. A lot of your best ideas, are they going to come? Now, you got to remember, so you and I are kind of, we started this whole thing, and now we got our team. They're interacting more. There's so much stuff I used to do that I don't even know how, I don't know where to log in. I don't know how to do it. Couldn't even tell you how to do it anymore, right? So there's a lot of things you used to do, right? And like you used to, do a ton of things that you don't do anymore because now you're focused on these things. You guys used to do certain things, but now you are over here working on these things. Now you've moved into their positions, right? So think of, again, talking about the BlackBerry phone and the iPhone. Do things change quickly? Do things happen quickly, right? So the best place to get your next great idea, is it from you and me hanging out talking about the good old days? Like, oh, do you remember we got Porsche? Remember we got Office? Remember we used to do this, this, this? Right? Where's your best ideas going to come from? The people doing it. Why do a lot of businesses fail? They don't listen to their people. All right? So I'm going to have 100 ideas almost a day. I'm blessed I have a team that shoots down 99.9% of them all the time. You know what I mean? So like you want to be continuing, especially the visionary, that's your job. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What about this idea? What about this product? Right? And this is all cliche in any business book, any business speech, any TED Talk. There's your idea, the boss's idea, and then there's the best idea. Anybody ever heard this before? Would the best idea win? Do a lot of people, do you know people, family, friends, that they are suffering because they can't let someone else's idea win? Right? They're being too proud, ego, whatever. And ego's always there. Our ego never goes away. And our ego loves to tell us that, okay, now that I'm successful here, the rules don't apply to me. Right? How many, is there big businesses, successful businesses? Think about all the crypto exchange stuff, the ones that are collapsing and they're basically, any business. They're robbing the business. They're laundering money out of the business. They started to end, and that's what I'm saying, keep your values in front of you. Because your ego is going to say, well, I worked really hard. Look, I employed all these people. I ended up employing my community. I did this for them. I deserve a little more, right? Not saying you don't. But that's where this all starts is, can we make up in our mind a story so that we can justify doing something wrong? You know what the right thing to do is? Be like, if I just create this story, paint this picture, I could probably get away with doing the wrong thing. So sticking to those core values, sticking to do the right thing because it's the right thing. That will keep you out of a lot of trouble. Because again, technology and humans, we are error machines. We mess things up because that's what we do. right? And when you're trying to place that order, right? So he's talking to the commissioner of the NFL, and you guys got this brand new awesome software to order your products, right? And Theo logs in. It's like, all right, man, place this order for $1 bajillion. Everybody's gonna change everybody's lives. And then it's like it's loading, and you get like an error message. Please contact, customer support, blah blah blah. How does Theo feel when he's with the NFL commissioner about to make the biggest sale the company's ever made? Talk about trust. Is it hard to, how I used to break down in people's driveway? I didn't become a bad person by breaking down their driveway, but okay, that trust is kind of damaged now because how am I supposed to trust your product if you can't get these things to work, right? So, good news is, we got the best sales training person to ever live, best sales team, best product, best core values. So Theo's been trained that you don't give up, right? You don't let the technology messing up in the moment mess things up. So again, talking about making up stories. So you can say, hey, we're switching over to a new vendor. Let me get a hold of them. Just permission to make a couple phone calls real quick. And okay, I got it. You know who on the team you need to call, right? So, and what's your name, miss? Deanna? Deanna, how do you spell that? Oh, sorry. J? A. Joanna. Jayana.
Apostrophe after the J.
Oh, sweet. All right, cool. Sorry. I also played in a band, so I can't hear anything. So I can't spell, I can't hear. It's a whole thing. But, all right, so is Jayana, is that how I pronounce it? Okay, so Jayana, you are our IT expert. That, for me, turning on my computer is a miracle. The fact that my computer works and I can do stuff with it, it's amazing. If my software is not working, we call you, right? Theo is not worried at all. No one's worried at all because she's going to handle it. That's her expertise. That's her role. Okay, I don't know if IT is your passion, all right? But this for this example, right? So think of if you didn't have the team, right? You didn't have trust. You didn't have that relationship. And this happens all the time in business. The corporate world is super cutthroat where people are trying to make other people look bad so that they can get the promotion next and not them, right? So, but you two, you got a great culture, great core values. You can call. She is actually on vacation. But the culture you've built is, would he be calling you knowing you're on vacation unless it was an emergency? No, right? Because Theo's not calling like, hey, how do I check my email, right? Or it's an emergency, and you guys have that agreement. If it's an emergency, like our team would call it it's the red phone, like in the movie they have like the red phone, or the president has the red phone for emergencies. It's like, hey, you call like Theo, you're like, red phone, need your help, right? So you get in there, you help fix the software. Again, what would take the rest of the team the rest of our lives, because we don't know how the software works, you fix in like 2 minutes, you place the order, and everybody wins, right? So, and what are you passionate about? What's a passion, hobby, outside of saving us from this biggest sale? What's that? Hair? All right. Is there anything we can crochet for hair? Headbands, maybe?
Yes.
All right. Sweet. Maybe there's something like underneath football helmets. You could do like the headband, like it's extra, I don't know. You guys can do the research. It helps, crocheting helps prevent concussions, right? So, having a lot of fun here. I turned off my watch so we can get this. We still got a lot of time. Okay. Who else wants to be on this? All right. What's your name, miss?
Like
Ladine. How do you spell that? Okay. Do you have a business?
No, I don't.
You don't. And so, did you have a business Did you have a business actually? And I didn't ask you? Okay, so, all right. But you can sell how to fix IT, right? So,
I'm into hair too.
hair? Okay. All right. And we forgot to ask, can you? So, all right. And specifically, these two would be great for your brand new hair product line, right? So they have the passion. Are they going to come up with the next big, greatest idea for the hair department of your business? It's going to be sweet. All right? So, cool. You, sir, Hurdler. Jonathan? All right. Is it Jonathan?
Johnathon.
Ah, Ghhnathan?
Yes.
All right. My brother is Jon and also On at the end. So I just know there's a lot of different ways. So, Jonathan, sir, do you have a business?
No, sir.
Yes, you can. All right. What's something that you're passionate about?
Maybe like dirt bikes, you know.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe we get you linked up with Vince and Chase, right? And it's not just cars. We start to develop a full, diversify our automobile portfolio of products. Interesting. Indeed, yes. So who else? You two gentlemen there. Potholes, I'm sorry. What's your name, buddy? A-U... E-O-N?
Owen.
D-O-N. Auden, all right. All right, Auden. Do you have a business, sir? Nope. All right. What are you passionate about, buddy? Real estate? Okay. By Jove. We've grown quite a bit, haven't we? Whatever will we do? We need more room. Our office space isn't it's too small. Our supplier, like our warehouse is too small. If we only knew somebody whose expertise and passion was real estate. So, and it's Auden. Sorry, buddy. Auden? Yeah. Auden. So, Auden, are you now our official real estate broker for the business?
Yeah.
Okay. So, can you find us a bigger warehouse? And by the way, we need a warehouse internationally. We need one in Canada now because you've been making so many sales. So good work. Way to never quit. So you could do that for us? All right, perfect. So we developed this sales team, and now we have a real estate arm. What if, for some reason, there's a global shortage in the crochet materials? Remember 2020, 2021, you couldn't get anything, like there's a shortage of this, shortage of that, right? We have a client down in Huntington Beach, California. It was insane we were driving down with Huntington Beach, Seal Beach, Long Beach. They actually took us to like the Browns-Rams game, the Browns-Chargers game last year, year before. But all the cargo ships lined up on the ocean, one after the other, one after the other. Talking about protein, I think we're like 8 cases of protein. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna run out, right? But so if there's shortages, we need to start making new connections, right? Getting different suppliers. Maybe we start making more things in-house, right? So he's gonna handle that, all right? So you, sir, what's your name? Shepherd. All right, perfect. And you have a business? No?
Can you sell?
All right. Heck yeah. All right. And what's passion of yours, buddy? Real estate. If only we had someone else in real estate to help give us great ideas. And also, too, So you've been doing this for about a year. You bring on Shepard. Is Shepard going to have that I just got office, just got porch moment, right? He flew all the way to the other half of the world. And it was a terrible experience. They were very mean to you, right? And you got that whole flight coming back. But guess what? You're not alone, right? Because he's gonna say that, oh yeah, same thing, man. Been there, done that. It's all good. All right? Now, and even two, could you crochet something for homes, for real estate? Right? So is this all starting to make a little more sense? All right. You miss. What's that? All right. Is that noise coming from here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought I was losing my mind. Can you spell that? I'm sorry. O-R-L-Y. Orly?
Yep.
All right. Sorry, Orly. Okay, I cannot hear because this thing's going on. I can't hear, period. But so do you have a business? Okay. All right. Heck yeah. What's something that you are passionate about? Baking? All right. I feel like you got the... Yeah. Oh, carrying case, you got it. I'm thinking of I always am afraid to burn my hands when I... Yeah. Eh? Love it. Perfect. Okay, so you just create a whole new department for us. All right? You sir, blue hoodie. J-A-C-E. All right, Jace, you have a business?
Here we go.
All right. What's number one hobby or passion? Okay. Is there
He works
Finance.
in a popcorn shop.
okay? Well, it's finance. So time out. Is finance something that you're interested, you're passionate about? Do you like numbers? Do you like working with money? Believe it or not, the best job security that you're going to have, and that me and my team have, is most people don't find finance interesting. So and that's why I would get porched all the time. Like, hey, I'm going to talk about this. I'm like, I'd rather talk about anything else, right? So, but I would recommend getting somebody, get a finance and accounting department before you get this big, right? You probably need that. So, but did we just find the person that we need to keep up, make sure what? Get profits. There are so many businesses that sell tons, they'll talk about, we had $10 million gross revenue. What's the difference between gross revenue and net revenue? Right? And there's these top in the world conferences we go to. I love to hear them talk about, our gross revenue was blah, 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 right? And it's like, well, what was your net revenue? How much did you actually keep, right? And they're like, just the accountant's still working out the number. The accountant's still working out the number, AKA you didn't make hardly anything. Your numbers look good, but are you ending unemployment if we're not making profits? So again, core values, you got the expert leading the sales charge, helping people understand, all right? But you don't want to be looking at numbers all day. You want to be working with people, right? It's not, you like the money part, the sales part, but it's because you're working with people. So Jace is like, all right, man, you guys sell everything. I'll keep track of what's profitable, what's not, right? Keep track of our inventory, all that. So, awesome. Because remember, what an exercise we do, and this is, I stole this from those conferences that we go to. If getting your team together and making a list of, I love these things that I do at work. On the other side, I hate these things that I do at work. Take all the things your work family doesn't like to do. Is that your next job offer? Is that your so next time you post something on LinkedIn or Indeed or wherever you're going to post it, you're literally going to group together all the things you all hate to do I guess, is there someone out there who's going to read that and be like, oh, I would love that, right? So a lot of people, too, in business, we're unhappy because we're doing the things we don't like to do, right? But it's also, too, all of you helping each other see the vision, right? End unemployment. Let's just get through this. We're going to hire new people to take away the things you don't like. But it's worth hanging on because we're going to end unemployment, right? So, you sir in the middle. Max? All right. Go up here. All right, Max, do you have a business? All right. All right. I'm hoping you guys will remember that. I'm hoping. All right. Can you sell? So, what, Max, what's something hobby or passion?
Like landscaping and plants.
My buddy I just had a meeting with yesterday. He's got places in Florida. He's got places here. He's got all kinds of real estate. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. Went to Wilby South, graduated with him, and he borrowed his mom. It wasn't like a station wagon, but it was like the smaller version. He had a lawnmower and his mom's car. And now he's got a whole team. It's one of the best landscaping companies in the area. And, I find it fascinating. Again, talking about certain things. The last thing that I'm thinking of is, wow, that plant would look really great right there, right? But for you and for him, you have this gift, this vision, and you're just like, because I still remember walking around our house when I was getting stuff done, he's like, oh, this is going to look so good here. And my wife was like, well, can we plant these here? It's like, we could, but the deer will eat them up. The deer will eat them up. So what I found is majority of the things you want to plant, don't plant because the deer will eat them up. And he was talking about so every year they send out a contract, right? So you think of there's no long-term contracts of hey, you have to do business with us. I get a letter from every year. Do you want snow plowing? Do you want landscaping? If so, what kind? They have their retention super high, which is almost doesn't exist in a lot of businesses, especially landscaping. But he said when people leave, it's about an average of 2 years before they come back. So even the people that leave come back. So that is kind of, again, is that not the type of culture and experience we're trying to create for the people we're serving? Would that be cool? Even when people leave, they come back and they're like, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have left, right? I'll get back over here, right? So, cool. Well, we have our real estate team that got us all these different buildings. Are they going to need landscaped? They're going to have to look sweet, right? So remember, just so you got Commissioner of the NFL is coming up, right? He wants to check out your headquarters, right? So Theo's got a meeting with him. But you're like, hey, Max, this place has got to look awesome, right? It's got to have that curb appeal. We got to pull up and look good, okay? So, so now, yeah, so you work with them because, too, why not be buying other properties and renting it out to other businesses? And is it more profitable to pay another landscaper who we don't really, they might be good, but we don't know them, we don't trust them, and we do not get profits for paying other people. So now, our Crochet LLC is doing business with our Real Estate LLC, who is paying our Landscaping LLC to do services for us, right? And again, not disclosure, I have to do not a CPA, not an accountant, I can't give tax advice, I'm not an attorney, da, da, da. But businesses, are there a lot of tax? You pay a ton of taxes, by the way. Tons of taxes that business owners pay. But are there different things you can do and set up different businesses a certain way to get tax deductions? totally legal. Talk to a CPA, talk to an accountant how to do it, talk to an attorney, right? But these are the things that start to happen, right? And you, Sarah, thank you for being patient. What's your name? Charlie. All right. Now, is it IE or EY? Or IE? Okay. All right. Do you have a business? I was hoping you'd say no. All right. It's so fun not having a business. All right. What would be your number one passion or hobby?
I like solving puzzles, like coordinating,
Okay.
problem solving.
Question. There's literally the board game called life, right? So life, like talking about, live it like a video game. Always trying to like level, like, but I will tell you, so like my son started playing Nintendo Switch. It was really cool because I'm like, oh man, I get to play Zelda again and blah, blah, blah. But I'm losing my mind because I'm like, you're here. You're supposed to, I'm not actually doing this, but in my mind, I'm like, JJ, we're here. We have to go to here so then we can get this armor, and then we get this armor, and we can go here, and then we go here, right? JJ is just having a blast, like blowing things up, shooting arrows everywhere, right? We need those arrows. We're going to run out of the arrows, right? But he's having the time of his life, man. And so what I'm getting at is business is a great way, and life. Play it like a video game where you have that concept of, okay, this is part of the I just started my business. I am, I'm level 1. I don't have I'm not powered up yet. I don't have enough for upgrades or whatever it might be, right? Because that's just life. Problem is, do most people go through life and they miss it? They're too big, like they don't enjoy it. And this is me, and you knew me. Like this is like, I'm happy-go-lucky guy, but like I was in such a rush to more, build. I didn't appreciate, I shouldn't say I appreciate it, but I didn't enjoy the ride. Because what happens is no matter where you get, it's like it's never that thing. It was the whole experience. Like I get more joy telling the story of me getting porched and being treated less than human than I do, making a, bringing on a giant client. Right? Bringing on a new client, it's awesome. I get excited now because I get excited for the team, right? Have the team having that experience. So I get more joy out of being here with you than I am just doing my day-to-day stuff. I wish email would just go away. But like, I got to check emails, right? But the, be like JJ, where every step of this video game called life and business and sales, no matter what you're doing, you're selling something, enjoy it, celebrate it, right? Because every time you make a little more money, what do you need? A little more money. Every time you get that outfit, what do you need? Another outfit, right? Like it's the American dream. Nothing's enough, right? So the American dream is everything is a blessing and curse. Everything is a positive and negative, right? That's why it's important. Never forget who your people are, their core values, what drives them, what's important to them, who your family is. But the end goal, you're not in business to, yes, we're going to get profits. We're not in business to get profits to get another pair of shoes, right? Because it will never be enough. It'll be empty, it'll be hollow. I thought a lot of things in business, I thought if I just get here, then I'll be happy. Then you get there, and it's like, well, now I want this, now I want that. But if you have this bigger thing that you're going towards that's larger than you, larger than your community, larger than life, right? You'll never lose interest. You'll never lose passion, right? Because you're not going to work. You're going to change the world. And anybody who tells you that's stupid, that's silly, that's weird, you can pretty much get an understanding of the culture and the environment they have at their business where they work. What makes you weird is what makes you different, and what makes you different makes you unstoppable. All right? There is so much cool things ahead of you. There are a lot of things that are going to make you angry, sad, upset you. You're going to have terrible days. I wish I could say otherwise. But I'm saying rally around each other, have some fun, and just understand every day is worth living. Every day is worth one more step. So, sorry, getting all emo here, getting all fired up, but it just, life is amazing, but it is hard. And I look at my 7-year-old, my 5-year-old, and I think about, I look at you, like I think about the heartache. Like think about the heartache that you, when you were 5 and 7, is it part of you like, I wish I just didn't know what I was going to have to do. I wish I didn't have to deal with all these things. I wish life was kind of a little more easy, simple, and genuine down here, right? So life gets harder. Every step it gets harder, but it gets better. That's one thing I want to leave you with is every day is harder for me, but every day is better. And that's what I'm hoping is for you, but you keep working on it. And then 2, solving puzzles, board games. Did I miss anybody? You, everybody? I missed you because we did our thing. What's your name again? I'm sorry. Faith? So Faith, do you have a business? Okay, come on, one last time. Yeah, all right, cool. What's a passion, hobby? What's that? Clothing? Okay. Now we circle all the way back to James, right? Also clothing. Right, so now you see they start to connect the dots. If only you had someone who loved complex puzzles and could put them together and connect all these dots that are difficult to connect. If only we had that Charlie. So Charlie is going to be someone who helps you, right? You got that big picture, where we're going, where we're heading, right? You're listening to the people, and Charlie's going to help you and be like, all right, well, if this is your 1-year plan, then we gotta sell off this property. I'll talk to the real estate team. All right, we're gonna have to see if we can get some more licensing agreements. We'll talk to Theo, make sure we get that going for the NFL. All right, and then your 3-year plan is this. Your 3-year vision is this. So okay, we got to do this, got to do that. Your 10-year vision, and think about. Let's talk about the visionary and the integrator. Did you come back as integrator at all? Yeah. Okay. So visionaries love to have ideas and where we're going, big audacious goals like ending unemployment. The integrator, that's not your thing, right? Not you would love to end unemployment, but I'm like, hey man, I'm like, Charlie, what's your 30-year vision? Right? As you 30-year vision, you're like, oh man, we got this product, we got this, we could probably, the team's doing this, and then we got this, we're over here now, right? So the integrator helps the visionary actually bring to life all these, like, where are we going, right? Because think of like, now you have this entire family. You guys probably want to know what she's thinking, right? Now the problem is visionaries, and you can see like quite a few times today I'm like trying to explain something. Miss Simon's like, well, you try, if you explain this, so that's what my integrator, my team does for me. Like, James, I understand you're trying to say something. You're filling the word with errors, I get, or filling the air with words, I get that. But so what Charlie can do is you two, you get together, you talk about your vision, and then Charlie's job is to work with all of you in the different departments and leadership teams. Say, okay, this is how we got to roll it out. What's the, sales team, what's the best way you think we should do this? Hair. department. What's the best way we should do this? Real estate team, what are we doing? Fitness and sports. Or sports and fitness, I think that's how you're supposed to say it, right? So you're going to, and then you're saying, Emily, can we do more in the horse market? Is there anything we could do there? So you and the visionary just continue to keep things going because we need your vision, we need her ideas, we need her passion, big picture, but we also need you to actually help the team be like, not want to like stop coming to work because there's always a new idea, a new product that we're throwing against the wall every 5 seconds. So did I explain that at all?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Does this make any sense? Is this helping at all? Okay, all right. So 9:59, how do we do that? All right, very cool.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Go out. Go sell some stuff. All right.